Hey guys, Beast Force here and welcome back to my Phineas and Ferb breakdown. In this video, I'm going to break down Strange Tales of Halloween Story, Terrifying Tri-State Trilogy of Terror, and Face Your Fear. Justice Stealing will have to wait because it takes place post-summer. Next one will be the Kimpaloo story, which will be the next video, and also the beginning of the end of Phineas and Ferb. We are not halfway there yet, but we are getting close towards the specials and towards the end of the original one of Phineas and Ferb. As the book is read, as it contains 3 tales of the story of this episode, which we see a different point of view. I started the season 4 breakdown on 20th of March 2026, and I'm currently on April the 19th, 2026. I will be uploaded the next day or the day after, which could be the 20th or 21st. You never know. My aim is to finish off the original round breakdowns as long as I can, maybe throughout the end of May or mid-June, I don't know. If this is your first breakdown, you're curious to know how the rating system works, there's a detailed description down below, along with my other videos that also have the description down below in my playlist. Mike Bell, Kim Robertson, Aliki Theophilopoulos, and John Moffat wrote an episode called Terrifying Tri-State Trilogy of Terror, premiered on October the 5th, 2013 on Disney Channel US. In the trilogy of strange tales, Candace accidentally conjures up a spell that turns her Dokimomo plushie into a living, breathing doll that is set on stalking her. Doofus encounters the inexplicable giant floating baby head that grants cursed wishes, and Phineas, Ferb and their friends confront a horde of miscreants, evil platypus set on destroying the town. There's 104 days. We didn't see that in season 3 in That's the Spirit of the intro, apart from the end, but we do see it with the horror filter. It had the same lyrics, but not the horror theme thing. Like maybe. It said the recipes of a golem or a zombie, whatever it is. You should have said giving a skeleton a shower instead of a monkey. Everything else is the same by adding skeletons in it to make it a Halloween special. See, there's a whole lot of fall. Come on. It is the same lyric, but said, "Come on, Perry." That's a different voice to it. And that part of the intro is reused from That's the Spirit.
Phineas and Ferb are making a Halloween special.
And we see the giant moon with the green color palette with the haunted house, and we thought it was going to be terrifying until it was a story. The Macabre Bookmobile, as we're going to see the person who's going to reveal it all.
To the Macabre Bookmobile.
Mr. Macabre is voiced by Oliver Chris, who you know for doing Ricky Howard in The Office.
3 stories that are guaranteed to make you scream with delight.
Mr. Macabre is holding the book, which is also the title of this episode.
Stop it, enough with the feather, Enfield. I'm saving them for company.
Your range organic grilled cheese slider?
Isn't that the same guy who was caught in Sipping with the Enemy?
It's a Macabre Bookmobile.
Totally giving you a bad review.
Which will pay insignificance when we see it in the end.
1 star. Man, that burns.
You gotta make sure you do the right things, otherwise you're gonna get ratings like this.
Terrifying Tri-State Trilogy of Terror.
Sorry.
Chapter 1. Teenage girl chats idly to her friend on the phone alone in her room.
And the mention of Candace as she's gonna appear, as it's focused on 3 parts of the story.
Careless words can be.
I have the whole place to myself. At Earth the movies, and the boys are playing ping pong over at Buford.
I wish we got to see how Phineas and Ferb, in their perspective, build ping pong. I believe it's gonna be fun though.
This incantation in the presence of a dog. Live it shall be.
Well, in the real world that doesn't happen, but in this story it is.
Relax, Stacy. It's funny. Ukasoma hai, una mudasada. Will you alive, Ducky Momo? Candace, this is Ducky Momo. You must buy more of my memorabilia.
Dokimomo's gonna come alive, Candace, and I like how Ashley Tisdale's given the freedom to do impressions like this.
Collector's item bobblehead.
This episode is based around the Treehouse episodes of The Simpsons. Every time Halloween is here.
Help! Help!
I really like how Candace is fooling herself to Stacy on the phone, which is funny.
Using because why exfoliate off all the cells you just...
While Candace is blocking the view of seeing Dokimomo is just gone, as we see the perspective of the story that he actually moves and comes alive.
I thought I heard a sound coming from under the bed. Wait, we don't even have a cat.
Well, I do, Candace, and it's a ginger cat, so
How did you get underneath there? Oh, it's nothing.
she should have realized in first instance, but then again, it's not real, so yeah.
Okay.
After the lightning strike, you get to see Ducky Momo's body actually moves.
It's the same song playing in his car. Chances of that. And then he says,
She put the towel on the living Ducky Momo, and she doesn't realize as she turned Ducky Momo into a ghost costume. Every time you think about the horrors of the nightmares, it always happens in everyone's dreams, including mine. It's the raccoon, but it's not the same recurring raccoon from Milo Murphy's Law. I really like the camera moving back of Ducky Momo's direction as it rains. That is a sick shot.
oh, I just thought I'd have, something healthy.
Donuts and cheesy corn. I would love to have donuts. I already ate them.
It's a cheesy popcorn.
Ducky Momo stole it. How did he get up there, even though it's not real? And you hear that swirling song again. I know it's not real, but how did he carry the bin right here? Is he super strong? I don't know why Candace put that card inside. It probably had money and stuff.
Any petties? Is someone there?
Even though Jeremy doesn't appear in this story, I like how Candace discusses about it, even though it's not real in this story.
No, creepy.
Candace is kicking the door while Ducky Momo starts, which is unnoticed.
Also classy.
I love how it morphed back into normal as you get to see it's going into the right place with the eye. Looks like it's not real, but it does come out to life again.
You hear a floorboard creak.
The song is called No Momo, as it is a song about a Ducky Momo turns evil as it creeps in their house. Night of the Dark actually suits for the Halloween theme, and you see Ducky Momo appears once he transitioned there. Even though it was destroyed in Nerds of a Feather, but this story isn't real. Maybe Candace may have got a duplicate somewhere, and that's a callback to it.
You say no.
You can see Ducky Momo transition in the mirror right there as Candace opens it. I like how you can hear Elsie Power's voice doing the song of the Ducky Momo theme again, but in horror's perspective. I really like you can hear her voice while in the haunted voice, which sounds very good in the Halloween perspective.
I think something is in the room with me. Body, like sense of the presence, like you can't see it.
That's what happens when you're alone at night. You get anxieties. And there's that iconic Ducky Momo quote and Candace's scream, which is iconic. This plot is very similar to Child's Play.
Spell from that weird book worked.
She could have known it, then again, it's not real, it's non-canon.
Oh, he's downstairs. Would you stop laughing?
I wish we got to hear Kelly Hu voice lines on the phone, but we don't get to hear it. Maybe there's not enough voice lines for her.
You can hear the milk shooting out of your nose. That's the day he laughed so hard, milk came out of his nose. My phone!
At least he didn't destroy her, he just said cool ended, so it's okay. Ducky Momo's very smart, unlike the mindless monster we see in some movies.
Oh yeah, it's an innie. Lock the door!
This is like your typical horror movie where the person is locked in but finds another way.
I was just goofing around. Do you what?
And we all thought it's just your typical cliche of horror or lover movies like scaring the people, but it turned out it ends perfectly until...
You want a hug? A hug? Well, okay.
I found it pretty terrifying at first, but as soon as Candace hugs Ducky Momo, it's cute.
Incantation made you alive. Moonlight should have made you evil. What? What?
So the moon was behind the clouds, which is the reason why Ducky Momo doesn't become evil. But we all know who it is. But Mr. Miggins is...
Ah, you have returned for more.
It's over 20 minutes. Duh.
Stormy night, where a platypus will soon...
Just like the first story in this episode, it takes place in night.
A wisher might not wish for what he wished.
If this was in the real world, Dusabet would have turned around and trapped him.
Hey!
Maybe you should have turned around quickly.
Sneak up on a guy like that, especially on a dark and stormy night.
At least he's not busting down your doors, doof, even though it's non-canon.
And there's a chapter in here.
And he's reading the same book what Mr. Macabre and Candace read.
Sucker!
Even though it's a story-told me, Perry the Platypus will always fall for a trap no matter what.
Platypus in a book trick.
And that's a reference to Horse of the Bookcase.
The book that you are trapped in has a very interesting chapter.
Bum bum bum.
Always with the bam 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 dramatic everywhere. We've seen that many episodes.
Giant floating baby head.
Every time I say the inexplicable giant floating baby head. Floating baby.
We always hear the lightning strike, just like in Candace's story, and now Doofenshmirtz.
Get close enough to touch the floating, 3 wishes. Pretty sweet, huh?
And we're actually going to see that as the giant floating baby head will appear soon.
The giant floating rest of the baby head to come to me?
Your giant floating baby head attractinator.
I will count the catchphrases or lines that appear in the counter, but the innator, since it doesn't exist in the real world, I'm not going to count that.
Into this innator. Babies like keys, right?
You could put dolls or other items in there, but keys work too. These are one of the gags that we see in recent episodes at times in the original, like the giant flying baby and the Kim balloon, as we going to do a breakdown in the next video.
Don't kill me. Perry the Platypus, look at my hand. Worked, I get 3 wishes.
You have to make it count, otherwise it could end up being a slap in the face, Doofenshmirtz.
I wish for an iced tea.
His mouth position looks very weird in this frame.
Iced tea. Well, look at that, it worked.
If I had these 3 wishes, I would be wishing a new house, a new PlayStation, and all of that. That would be cool.
Sugar and one of those lemon slices. I went
I'm too smart for that.
really clear about what I want.
This part is weird. Doofenshmirtz is not smiling in the close frame, but we see far he's smiling.
I wish to control cheese and cracker.
He said cheese and crackers as well, just like Candace said earlier.
Think you're so clever, don't you, Perry the Platypus, making me waste a wish?
If you waste a wish or something like that and you say I wish and the thunder comes out, it gets nothing. So Perry the Platypus will be very smart to do that.
Wish is to waste the wish that was wished wastefully. Control over cheese and crackers.
Perry the Platypus interrupted his wish so that the food comes alive.
Snack attack. Limburger. Bookshelf off my foot.
Perry's dodging like a badass, but he could have ate it, but he will soon. The typical slow motion sound we see in animation. It's done right, it's cheesy, but I give it that. Use the crater to split the cheese.
Well, you may have shredded it.
Just eat them, Perry. There you go, that's how you do it.
Second rule there, Perry the Platypus. Crackers, go get 'em.
Why do I have 6 boxes of oyster crackers?
Well, you pay money for Charlene's alimony, real or not, which isn't real in this story. I really love that Perry trying to use the environment to stop the crackers.
Parmesan, give them a taste of your crystalline texture.
When I first watched this, I was thinking this is weird, but thankfully it's not actually real. He has the mouse whistle and it's made out of cheese, so Perry has a smart idea. You hear that? It sounds like a Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes or Hanna-Barbera sound effects.
You'll have 1 wish left. As to mistakes.
And we all know he's going to try to take over the Tri-State era, even though it's non-canon.
To be the biggest ruler of the...
I really like how Perry the Platypus closed his eyes as he tried to correct them, because if Doofenshmirtz mess up, then he will lose that chance of getting that wish.
I say ruler.
Wooden yardstick or something. Good catch. Good catch, Perry the Platypus.
There's a difference between rule or ruler, become like the ruler of the whole Tri-State era, and rule the Tri-State era by overtaking it. Both are the same things.
Monarch of... No, you're right. Superintendent... No. Wait.
You should have said, I wish to rule the Tri-State era.
Yep. Old head, Perry the Platypus. That's what I wish for. Gone. So what?
It may not be non-canon to the real life story, but Doofenshmirtz is still the same, smart and dumb.
Hey, Perry the Platypus. Oh, you're giving me the smirk face.
I will never get tired of Perry the Platypus being expressive.
I did my nose. Oh, no, I can't.
If this was the real story and Doofenshmirtz stayed like this and it doesn't wear off, That would be mad.
There's you, Barry the Platypus, and an inexplicable floating baby head. Knock it off.
I realised 3 parts contain 7-minute segments, as it's like an 11-minute episode.
Ah, back from the commercial hour.
You mean the second commercial of this episode?
Installment in our terrifying tri-state trilogy of terror. Urban backyard.
And that's where Candace kicked Doki Momo, which is in the same place.
Not know what they're going to do today.
Bunny rabbit appeared. And then he...
I thought Beaver was being ridiculous, but I do this kind of shit too.
Remember, those marshmallows are for everyone.
Story.
Ooh, what's it gonna be? Or action adventure? Or my personal favorite, the candy costume alien teen romance comedy?
It's weird to see Isabel having eyebrows, as you can see there.
A doll come along, get 3 wishes, giant floating rest of baby.
I like how Phineas is reading the same story as we already saw in what we saw.
You have to be careful not to spill grape juice on a platypus or it will make an evil platypus clone.
And that shows it evident that these stories are not real, even though it's based around trilogy story of The Simpsons. Even though it's not the real story, Beaver just doesn't listen, just like his real life.
Aw, poor little guy.
What happened?
And Perry stays in pet mode in this story, even though he's a secret agent, but he doesn't want to blow his car, even though it's not a real story.
Whoa!
And it morphs quickly into evil platypus clone. I wish it did it slowly, but it's alright. And we see a front face Phineas, even though he's covered in shadow. Calm as a bitch. As it becomes an evil clone, as it grows into spikes with evil teeth and that, with the evil look. That's kind of scary when you put it that way. Well done, Beaver. You pour a grape juice and a platypus into an evil clone, and now he's gonna make more and steal the juice.
We take off and nuke the entire site from orbit.
And that's a reference to aliens.
I say we take off and nuke the entire site from orbit.
It's not real, but I never thought Isabella said stuff like that. Unreal.
Cheese and crackers.
Candace said cheese and crackers, Doofusmutt saying cheese and crackers, and now he's saying cheese and crackers.
A grape juice box to make more.
Such a Halloween thing to happen in the middle of summer.
And that is confirmed that the story is not real, because he said Halloween in the middle of summer. Unless it's like Gravity Falls, like you have Summerween. We've seen an episode of that.
To contain these duplicating evil platypuses somehow.
Or they could find more grape juice to create more clones of themselves.
That attracts only platypus fur for a grid to... No.
Oh, sure. Blame it on Phineas.
Similar to Summer Belongs to You, where Phineas is struggling to think of ideas, but he's just like, we need to find some solution.
I'm kind of stumped on this one.
Know someone who can help us. Follow me.
Just like the main story, in this story, Balji is very clever. Well done, Beaver. You're the reason why it causes the evil platypus clones to cause this.
Need counsel on a problem, I go to my life coach.
Well, if it ain't Balji.
Hey, it's Rusty Pritches, and he's voiced by Daniel Culture, who's from Anchorman and also The Office, just like the guy who voiced Mr. Bakabu.
This is Rusty Britches.
Ain't you kids?
Howdy?
Still counting that as what you're doing.
Socks tucked into your boots?
For the lemonade, Rusty.
You're surely welcome.
I really like the background of Rusty Play. That's where normal people will live.
City's been overrun by evil platypuses.
It's a real beehive in your well water. Thinking bench.
He doesn't have a sofa. We don't know if he has a TV and stuff. He's really suited for the old timing thing. That made my ear look like, oh.
When your horse starts drawing a bath, it's time to change the welcome mat.
Really taking our time with this thing?
Oh yeah, the writers and creators like, we're running out of time on this episode, and it's almost 21 minutes.
But I think we have to move along before things get worse out there.
Time to meet you. Oh, cheese and crackers.
And this is the 4th time a person said cheese and crackers in this episode, which is a running gag in this episode.
Times you gotta wash with the wrong brush to get...
Wash? Brush?
Chaparral?
Their brain was not functioning properly, but they found an idea now.
I'm just a simple cowboy life coach.
You know what we're gonna do today? So, since the evil platypus
It was being dramatic as the music stopped. It's kind of hilarious and funny.
powered bubble washers ought to do the trick.
Roll down home granny slapping, planty scrubbing musical accompaniment.
Yeah!
And there's actually 3 Rusty Bridges songs in this episode, which had different type of lyrics.
Do or die.
What the heck, man? You bringing us
It's a good song, but
something a little more, up-tempo.
When I first watched this, I thought Phineas had said, we're running out of time here because of the time, but okay. Just blast the platypus clones and it will disappear. I like how it beats one of them with its tail without going agent mode.
Get all the way. Without me. It's as I always say, you gotta out.
Thankfully, this doesn't happen in the main tunnel, and if it did, Phineas and Ferb would be dead, as we're going to see.
Everybody retreat to that factory. This is a grape juice box factory.
Destroy it then.
Here! Too many of them!
Isabella!
And I really love Phineas screams Isabella's name as she was about to die, as well as Phineas too.
Our heroes were ripped to shreds and left to die.
Disney allowed Phineas to say die, even though it's a Disney show. Let that sink in.
Pretty grim ending, don't you think?
It's a bit of a realistic ending, Isabella. Not every ending has to be good.
I'll give you the Hollywood ending. Keep your eye out for the sprinkler system supply housing.
This isn't the main story of the main title. Can you imagine this? That would have been having my heart racing.
Oh, the manual override is way up there.
And you know it doesn't make any sense as we see a unicorn as we see it. Just like the lyrics in the intro, discovering something that doesn't exist.
Teach cowboy life coach! Oh, the unicorns come to save us!
No matter what movie, animation and all that stuff, they will always have a plot armor no matter what to prevent them from getting killed or something.
You've saved my factory!
And this is Officer Concord, and he's voiced by none other than the creator of Gravity Falls, Alex Hirsch, also known as Grunkle Stan.
It was worth it!
The Concord, the Juice Time Juice Box flavor!
At least it's better than the video game called Concord, right? Right?
Everyone, let's dance!
I'll combine it. You can see the mouse, the cheese we seen with Doofus earlier, the unicorn and Ducky Momo along with Rusty. Everyone is down. Look at Ferb and Buford and Bowgie as well along with Phineas dancing. That is funny. And Isabella, why are you twerking? Aren't you 11 years old? You could do that after you marry Phineas, not doing that.
The unicorn or Officer Concord,
The cowboy.
You do not believe in cowboys?
Just wait until you cosplay as one in Baba Doofusmas in the revival in a decade. And we see it's a main story as we saw earlier, so we see more of Mr. Macabre.
Macabre bookmobile. That could happen. It's macabre.
Mr. Macabre.
Mr. Macabre is in The Office. That has to be a reference to Office, and the voice actor is from The Office along with Rusty.
I'm gonna give you a loan to buy a macabre bookmobile.
I'm surprised they didn't get other actors from The Office to do in the episode like this.
Detailed records of assets, no inventory, nothing you could use as collateral. It's a bad business proposition.
And that's why the person actually gave it one review earlier, which is the reason why.
What if I were to say please? Please?
Get out.
Please? With a cherry on top?
Okay, but this is the last loan I'm giving you.
And we don't see him again, whether he gets another loan or not. But I don't care about Mr. Macabre. I care about the stories of the main characters and stuff.
All is well that ends well.
Poor Rusty. Shame he doesn't get to finish his song. I wish he existed in the real world. I don't know.
Read the credits. I'll just wait down here. Here you go. Any minute. There it is.
Very interesting stories there. Now time to do the ratings. And it started off by giving a 3 on a plot. I really like Mr. Macabre has explained about the 3 stories about different perspective of it. First with Candace and Ducky Momo's story, Doofus with the giant floating baby head with the 3 wishes, and Phineas and Ferb and the friends, also to fight evil clones or platypus, which has different perspective. Reason why I'm not giving it a higher than that because it's actually not real. If it was real and it had high stakes, I would give it higher than that. But it's still very good to explain the trilogy terror of the tri-state era of the stories from different perspective. And these episodes take place during night, which has the Halloween theme, and it has different perspective. But I really like them all, but mostly because of the evil platypus called and the Ducky Momo. Also, Wishes was very good too, with Perry the Platypus fighting against food, Ducky Momo is chasing Candace, and also Phineas and Ferb with Rusty helping to defeat the evil clones. Everything else is good. Characterization will get a 5. Just like the main timeline, everyone is very consistent. Candace being talking to Stacy on the phone, Duffer and Perry interacting with each other, Phineas and Ferb and his friends fighting the evil clones, which is good. And it's good to see Rusty Bridges, I don't know if he's real or not, to help out with his unicorn to defeat the evil clones, as well as Officer Concord. And even he's voiced by Alex Hurst, who played Goggles. That is amazing. Visuals, I'll give it a 4. It's not as stunning visuals compared to many other episodes, but it has a lot of Halloween theme, which is the reason why it gets a 4, along with the Evil Platypus Code, the Ducky Momo, and the 3 wishes with Perry and the Platypus fighting against cheese and crackers and all that stuff. Importance is the weakest part of this episode, and it gets only a 2. It's because it had the Halloween theme just like in every other episode. And it's not bad at all, but it's not as memorable compared to Just Halloween, That's the Spirit, or other Halloween episodes. Entertainment will get a 5. I can all agree with that. 19 out of 25. That is a pretty good score. 1 point less than It's No Picnic, which is a surprise because it's an 11-minute episode, and also it's the main reason why it's Phineas and Isabella, and they take place in the main timeline, while 3 of the stories take place in different perspective of the different timeline. This is very Halloween themed, very interesting plots along the way. Mr. Macabre actually gets another loan, and all of that for Nash. Now it's time to finish this video off with the next episode. Joshua Pruitt and Bernie Peterson wrote an episode called Face Your Fear, premiered on October 11, 2030 on Disney Channel US. After studying hours of horror movies, Doofenshmirtz develops a theory that enlarge small, cute animals into giant beasts will help him take over the tri-state area, but when he puts his plan into action, he soon realizes it might be too much for him to handle. Meanwhile, Phineas and Ferb make a giant revolving foam city so they can safely perform skateboarding tricks, and Candace's tour of the Danville Space Laboratory gives her an opportunity for a high-tech bust.
Okay, guys, now you try it. Nice!
Isabella got some skills, bro. Look at her. Baljeet too, except Buford.
What's with the lack of effort?
Now we're out of credit at the emergency room. My one more bone, she's gonna break the rest of them.
Man, the Van Storms are very brutal when it comes to their brawns.
Look how hard that hydrant is.
Of soft foam rubber.
Ferb, I know we're gonna do today.
I haven't seen much of Front Face Phineas, but this one is.
Seriously? That's it? A soft fire plug?
I never thought Ferb's dialect can speak like that, even though he doesn't talk too much.
To a giant revolving treadmill.
Man, I would love any treadmill to run like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Where is Perry? I was just asking where Perry is. Oh, well, I thought you said... never mind, it was too weird.
Oh yeah, Isabella was about to ask her about her Uncle Barry. Well, Dan Pothermar summarized it, as I will show it.
The thing is, a lot of the stuff that went into Phineas and Ferb was just stuff that amused me at the time. It amused me that we would never find out what Isabella thought he said. But if you really want it, here it is.
You can pause it if you want to see the full sentence here, but it has to do with the llama conspiracy theory of his disappearance. But we don't get to see Uncle Barry as person, but I'm going to show you what it is as we see it on screen. I'm surprised Phineas and Ferb and the guy are not in this thing and they didn't see it right there, so they're probably gone anyways. Just like Perry the Platypus we've seen in many episodes, Peter the Panda has rears, cuh. Alka's plumbing supply, that's new.
Through a spider web, don't you just hate that?
It's actually in your back when we're going to see after Perry the Platypus leaves.
Gives me the willies. It's the week of the Danville Hootenanny affair. I wish I had more information.
Well, Perry the Platypus is going to find out anyway, but why this layer in the plumbing supplies?
There was a big bee by the surveillance equipment on my head.
No, sir.
It's in your back, just why don't you touch it and feel it?
Meanwhile, at the Danville Space Laboratory.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
The reason why he got angry because he spelled laboratory wrong or run out of space.
Stuff is very interesting.
I really like going to museums filled with space, astronauts, the planets and all of that. I really like it. It's so cool.
Considering your background in astrophysics.
And that's kind of a secret, so...
I'll put it in the screen to show you what astrophysics is. So Phineas and Ferb is very, very smart. The reason why is because Linda has astrophysics, which comes through their family, which reason why Phineas is very intelligent because of that. That is so cool. I wish we expand more of this in the revival.
Team that makes and manages reconnaissance satellites was on Mars earlier this summer.
Well, you can ask NASA about Mars, and also Animus too, recently. And I completely forgot earlier this summer, which is an unfair science fair in season 1, the rovers that Phineas and Ferb went to Mars.
Didn't know anything about that, would you?
What do you mean?
All right, Your Highness.
At least we're getting more Candace and Jeremy scenes together.
Stacy.
I like how he uses his parachute and then folds it like that as he goes down.
I am cowering outside my lab.
I remember the movie that I'd seen long ago in a drive-in.
Of the feeless.
In Cheers for Fears, Doofenshmirtz watches a lot of movies that scares him, and now he's watching another movie which scares him.
That the old masters were onto something.
And these are real life kittens, which is so adorable. And I mentioned having a cat earlier, which I already said. And also the fact is, it's a reference to Night of the Lepus with giant rabbits.
To frightening proportions.
Giant cats wouldn't scare me because they are so fluffy, just like the chinchillas earlier in season 4.
Small animals, preferably something that can fly.
Bees, butterflies, fly, bats.
As soon as the movie was over. Huh?
He's just hanging in the balcony again. You could have done it somewhere else.
Genetically modify a mouse so it's easier to just use a bat. I'm a low-budget bat circus.
Derek the stunt bat. His face looks similar to Stitch. I remember Dan Pomeroy and the voice actor for Stitch actually worked together.
Fly with those, because it would be so much easier.
Maybe they're inexpensive.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they're just too cheap.
They're on sale.
Okay, you do it. Really gone belly on. I had the ultimate creepy soldier.
That's what a bat sounds like in real life. I presume D. Bradley Baker did the sound.
Mild phobia of bats. Ah, get away, get away, get away! A mild phobia of shellfish.
And he has fear of both of them. Imagine Agent Bats or Agent Shellfish. Major Monochrome could send these two agents instead of Perry.
Worse. Scram, you flying gerbil ray!
It was embedded in the dashboard of your car.
Differ being scared again is pretty hilarious. We've seen that in Cheers for Fears, but now this episode.
Really? Oh, don't throw that. That's imitatable. Oh wait, don't shoot him with that. That's my.
You can see closely on the bat's face as he looks like Stitch from Leo and Stitch.
That kind of looks like my cousin Nartheliot, we imagine is weird.
It's even more horrible than it looks.
And I thought he was joking until I see him with Vanessa in the end, which we're going to see.
Hold up, we're going to Foam Town.
And that's the song which Phineas and Ferb are going to ride on with the inventions by skateboarding it. And Phineas and the gang doesn't sing the song. Ferb being so cool without being phased, he is the man of action after all. And there's also a storyboard animated version of Foam Town, as you can see. I'll put it in the link down below after I finish the breakdowns. Luckily, it's soft Buford, you can skate wherever you want. I really like how it's bouncy and it's safe to skate and not harping as they don't crack their bones. Ferb is skating while playing the guitar, he is him. As Isabel loses her balance, you get to see a frame while she getting caught. It looks weird, but it's animated very well. I really love this shot. You get to see a close-up Phineas skating. You see me rolling, rolling, rolling. Just like Gordio, this song doesn't get appreciated a lot. It's animated very well with skating the obstacle course. It's done very well. In the interplanetary rovers, you get to see the planets from different sides, the rovers down there. The designs look so crisp, and look at the floor, it looks solid.
Mars rover, the Moon rover, and this is the Irish rover.
You had to test it somewhere.
And that's the song of the Irish rover, while Swampy sings in the fake accent for the third time.
An Irish rover to look around, you know, the far in Castlebar.
And that is in the middle of Ireland in the city.
But we're finally starting to get some really great pictures back.
And they got pictures of a real-life leprechaun. Go figure.
Dad?
Vanessa? Really?
Looks like your cousin Nartheliot.
Vanessa is not scared of bats, unlike her father. Go figure.
Movements or loud noises.
It's a bat. They just eat bugs. Time to face your fear.
Well, you can ask Batman about fears. He would just know. And speaking of fears...
No, Bat, spit him out!
Much better.
And the giant bat flies away with Doofenshmirtz. Looks like Doofenshmirtz's fear is gonna become more insignificant.
Well, hey, Perry, if you could help me. Thanks, Perry. You're a peach.
And Vanessa calls Perry a peach. Vanessa's starting to care more about her father more in recent seasons, which is lovely. And we see more of that in season 5 of the Revival, which is great. I really like how Vanessa's becoming more handy in the situations.
What I miss?
And there is Nathalio, Doofenshmirtz's cousin, and he does look like a bat.
We call them global surveillance satellites. Always one of these flying above you in orbit, streaming live video to us.
The outside of our building right now, and we can look up any location instantly.
And Candace is going to use that to find her own backyard of her house, which Phineas and Ferb are in. It can be good and handy for situations like this.
The Taj Mahal.
And we see Paris and the Taj Mahal again, since summer belongs to you.
Backyard and just see what they're doing.
Pretty cool, huh? In 3, 2, 1.
What?
Really?
Come on, Candace, Jeremy is giving you the hint. You're just as oblivious as Phineas right now. I'm surprised that Dr. Doofenshmirtz is not screaming. He's just like, I'm just done with this shit. Oh, I like the cafeteria layout like this. The food is there and they eating there. That looks so solid.
You know, my dad goes on and on about the cafeteria here. Food is...
I've got an idea! We're building something in our backyard right now!
Looks like his busting senses are tingling right there. She knows something is going to happen.
Just let me punch in my address.
At least she's typing it instead of reveal it. She would have been doxxed. But here's Maple Drive.
Gosh, I knew it! Look at that thing! It's an eye in the sky bus!
Buford is still rolling as usual, but he is okay. We don't hear bones crack.
The time of my life. Is anybody else hungry?
Not again! Ow, my head!
The giant bat still has Doofenshmirtz. I don't know how long it happens there. If it's longer than an hour, I would be terrified. But Doofenshmirtz is holding strong.
Ow, now! There goes social studies!
You can see the different types of cogs that Phineas and Ferb put in there.
Skateboard.
Oh, Linda is so impressed. I just wish that Linda and Phineas and Ferb communicate right here. Imagine, that would have been sick.
Hi, boy! They can't hear you, you know.
Hi! Woohoo!
Even though Candace is not in the backyard, her failed attempt to bust Phineas and Ferb once again has proven it.
Every day.
Like an angry old prospector.
Finally, Daisy, we're here.
Hey, it's that old coot from the mayor. I mean, she's the mayor.
No one to bother us. Dang it!
We don't only have houses from the inside there, even though it's soft. And there it is, they are in St. Louis, as we don't see again in Season 5 for a decade. As it looks crisp compared to the new version of Season 5, even though I do prefer Season 4 animation and art style more. It looks crisp, the shadows clear and all of that. This looks better than that, but I wish that had in Meet Me in St. Louis.
Welcome to St. Louis! Now do something about this bat!
And it shrunk the bat. I'm surprised it didn't shrink Doofenshmirtz as well.
Fear of bats!
It's you again.
Looks like you need to overcome your fear of shellfish.
Just stop it.
I really enjoy many parts of this episode, but does it hold off for the ratings? Another 11-minute episode of the plot will get a 2. There are 3 plots intertwined in this episode, one being the Form Town as Phineas and Ferb ride on it for the invention with the song, and plot B focused on Doofenshmirtz trying to overcome his fear of bats as he's trying to make cute animals into giants, and it turned out that Doofenshmirtz was flying by a bat for a couple of minutes or hours, I don't know, as he overcomes his fear, but not seashells, whatever it is. And plot C focus on Jeremy's dad giving a tour around what is in space with the rovers and all that stuff. And Candace tries to bust the brothers but failed again. Characterization will get a 5. It's nice we get more info about Jeremy's dad working here, as we get more Jeremy and Candace together, as well as Linda exploring the tour. as well as Phineas and Ferb and the gang riding on Thorntown with skateboards, which is amazing. Good to see Vanessa again with her cousin Nafolio in the end, which he looks like a bat, as Doofenshmirtz does have fears over bats and seashell, as Perry the Platypus care as he saves them towards the end. Overall, Vicious has some solid moments, but I'm gonna give it a 4. I was thinking about giving it a 3, but the form town while Phineas and Ferb skating with the song was done very well. The roofers, which we see in Jeremy's dad as they work here inside of the space thing, whatever. Also the location that you can see, the giant bat while Doofenshmirtz throwing around, St. Louis, all the locations done very well. As much as I found this episode very good, I'm going to give the importance a 1. Apart from the astrophysics and Phineas and Ferb the gang having fun invention, it's just felt nothing's important in this episode. There are more important Halloween episodes like Jusselsteinoween and other Halloween episodes, but this doesn't do it for me, and it's not as important as it is as the other episodes. Well, entertainment will still get a 5 though. It gets a 17 out of 25. Apart from Thorntown, the astrophysics, which Jeremy's dad mentioned, and Doofenshmirtz's plot, it's just not as memorable compared to the Halloween episode, like Jusselsteinoween, that's the spirit, or One Good Scare from season 1 with the Finnabella plot. There are some parts of this episode makes it very forgettable, which I don't believe some people is, as some Phineas and Ferb fans actually said that. It's not bad, but it's not spectacular. That is all I gotta say, really. The 2 tales of the trilogy of the tri-state area, which is based around this book, the Ghost Stories, which 2 stories actually put into an episode, which was in July the 23rd, 2013. Officer Concord, the design, which actually a reference to the Kool-Aid Man. I also did 2 polls on which Marvel character should have been in this special. If not these heroes, which one should I put in the COVID poll? And I put Captain America in 52%, Hawkeye in 5%, Black Widow in 38%, and Ant-Man in 5%. Captain America could become good and handy against Red Skull, and it would have been a good addition to see it. And if he did appear, I would wish Roger Craig Smith would do the voice. I also did another poll for the episode, just did the creators use this episode for the concept of the show of Milo Murphy's Law? 49% said yes, 43% maybe, 9% said not sure, and 0% vote for no. I was going for not attended on purpose until the creators used that concept for Milo Murphy's Law, but 49% said yes, which actually the creators intended to make it look like Milo Murphy having bad luck. If anything can go wrong, will go wrong, as they used the concept for Murphy's Law throughout 2 seasons, throughout 2016 to 2019. There are 3 breakdown videos I will be uploading in a couple of days. Next one will be Father's Day, Operation Concrete, and Mandus, which is the beginning of the end of the original one of Phineas and Ferb. And the next breakdown will be the Return of the Second Dimension as a sequel, Tales of the Resistance Back to the Second Dimension. But the next video I will do is the Kimpaloo Ultimatum. After I upload this video, I will be doing the Kimpaloo Ultimatum straight away, and I will be uploading it on YouTube this week. Stay tuned because I got more coming. I will be uploading a poll of what is your favorite Halloween episode of Phineas and Ferb. Let me know in the community tab when it goes live, but until then, hope you have a fantastic day. As always, see ya.